Well, hello there, Teen Droid TV. I'm Mike Bates. It's Tuesday, November 27th, and this is the Android vlog where we go over the latest Android news and my opinions on them. So, let's get going. So, starting right into the news today, the first bit of news is that we have some more news of Chinese manufacturer phones today. We are starting off with Meizu. This is one of their newer phones. They have a reputation of creating kind of high-end phones with low costs for unlocked devices. So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of similar to what Google's been doing, except they're not selling it directly from themselves. I think they still go through the Chinese carriers. Anyways, they have just announced a new device today called the Meizu MX2. And what's kind of interesting about this device is that it has a mystery processor in it. It has a 1.6 GHz quad-core processor, which is allegedly made by Samsung, although it's not an Exynos Quad. So we don't know what it is. It could be an early version of one of Samsung's new chips for 2013. We'll just have to wait and see. Who knows what this thing will perform like. It also has 2 GB of RAM to back it up. It's got a 4.4-inch 720p display, I think with a PPI of like 347, so that's pretty much standard, maybe a little higher than average right now. It's higher than the iPhone 5 screen, higher than the Nexus 4. And it's not higher than the Droid DNA, but it is higher than most 720p screens, so I guess that's probably because it has a little bit of a smaller size. Anyways, it comes running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean with Meizu's special Flime OS 2.0 skin on top of it, and for those of you who don't know what that is, I really didn't know what it was either. Kind of looks like MIUI or MIUI, which is a popular, actually Chinese-based custom ROM that is kind of popular in the Android community. It's kind of like iOS, only enhanced, where it has the same kind of like all your apps are on your home screen no matter what kind of thing, but then it also has all the power of Android underneath it. So that's kind of interesting. I personally had a little bit of experience with MIUI or MIUI, whichever one you want to say, on my Nook tablet a while back, but I never really got into it. It has some really powerful theming options, but nothing that made me stick with it too long over CyanogenMod 7. Next bit of news is that the Google Play Store has finally started to merge Google Plus integration into it more than just the +1 button. Late last night we saw some people reporting that, all the reviews on the Google Play Store have turned into by a Google user, and so immediately my brain thought, just like what they did with Maps, they're merging in Google Plus support. And so if you don't know, earlier this year they integrated Google Plus support into Maps, where when you review something on Maps it uses your Google Plus profile, and if you had a review out before that, it just changed your username or the name of the review to a Google user instead of your Google username. And so when that happened last night with all the Play Store reviews, I was like, yes, Google Plus integration is coming. And so sure enough, I woke up this morning and indeed the stories were out that Google Plus integration was added. So now if you review something on the Play Store, your Google Plus profile is attached to that review. I think that'll be good to keep a little bit less anonymity anonymousness from the Play Store. And so I guess it makes it a little bit harder to be a complete jerk on there, because then it's actually tied to your name and your profile. So that's a good thing, and at least I think so. I'm also excited to see where Google takes that Google Plus integration after just reviews. I'd love to see the ability to share wish lists with your friends on Google Plus, and also be able to maybe buy gifts to your friends, albums, movies, apps, etc., etc. That'd be really cool, and so I hope they take this past just the phase of just reviewing and +1ing. I hope they add in wish list and buying gift support, because they really need to do that if they're going to be able to have wish lists. I mean, what's the point unless you have someone else looking at it and giving you it? Who knows? Google can have some quirkiness, so oh well. Anyways, pretty much the rest of the stories today are all Nexus related, and so we'll start off with the fact that at 12 noon Pacific time in the US today, the Nexus 4 went back on sale, and confusion ensued. Just kind of like the original launch on November 13th, there were some issues with Google servers where people would add it to their cart and they go to check out, and then it would just disappear, and then you have to enter in a CAPTCHA, and then for some people it said sold out, and then for some people it didn't. And eventually Google put a stop to this by putting a banner up at the top that said, the Nexus 4 is not actually sold out, just wait, it's under heavy load right now. And so eventually they cleared that up, and I think people have finally been able to put through their orders now. And so that's a good thing, because Google did have some issues with that over the past couple weeks. It's good to see that get fixed. Also in Nexus news, we have a new version of Android being pushed out to the Nexus 4, the Nexus 7, and the Nexus 10. It is Android 4.2.1, and it adds a couple bug fixes, real minor stuff, except for a Bluetooth issue that some people were having on the Nexus 4, where it wasn't connecting properly. and it wouldn't maintain the connection properly. And then we also have a bug fix for the fact that December was the month of December was missing from the People app, and so I think that we can now officially call Android 4.2.1 the patch that saved Christmas. And so I can totally see the kids' Christmas movies now, just like the patch that saved Christmas, Android 4.2.1. And so I think it'd be cool if Google made a little spoof off of that. That'd be pretty funny. And then I guess that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and it also got pushed to AOSP, so if you're someone who's a ROM maintainer, or you just like compiling your ROMs from source for your device, then go ahead, it's out there, you can compile it, and good luck, it should work, and it should be a little bit more stable. I personally think that 4.2 is still not to the point where I would say it's stable. It still doesn't run as well as 4.1 did, and I guess that's understandable a little bit because it's using more resources, but there are some things that are just plain buggy, like the new lock screens. The new lock screen widgets are a bit buggy, especially the music widget. That thing looks awful, it performs awful, sometimes it just randomly quits, and then the album art is flashing there, flickering, and so whatever, I don't know. It's still not quite stable in my eyes yet, so I hope that Google continues to work out the bugs in that, and hopefully it can get to the level of smoothness and stability that 4.1 had. So yes, this has been the Android vlog today. Of course, the links to all the stories that I talked about today will be down in the description below, right under that like button. Hint, hint. Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter or on Google+. The links are both down in the description as well. And feel free to also leave your ideas for what I could give away for a 200 subscriber giveaway contest or whatever. So feel free to leave those ideas down in the comments below, and I'd love to hear from you all. We had a couple suggestions yesterday, but I'd love to hear more. So I guess I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thanks guys for watching, and peace.